Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So recently there have been a lot of makeup sales, and so this is round 2 of my Beautylish and Pat McGrath hauls, because after I bought all of those products from my previous haul, I picked up some more. So I figured today I would share with you all of the latest items that I got, and also just throw in the IPSY bag that I got in this month as well. So this is going to be one mega haul. So if you're interested in seeing what I picked up recently, then just stick around. So first off, let's start with this beautiful box from Beautylish. So if you guys are familiar with Beautylish, they have a semi-annual $20 gift card event where for every $100 you spend, you get a $20 gift card to spend at Beautylish later. And so this is an especially great deal if you are not a Rouge member at Sephora, because you essentially get 20% off regardless of how much money you've spent at Beautylish. And so even though I am a Rouge member at Sephora, there are a lot of brands at Beautylish that aren't carried by Sephora. So I bought a lot of things in their gift card event, and then I got my gift cards. And so this is basically what I bought with the gift cards, plus more money that I added on top. So let's go ahead and open this package. So this haul looks pretty underwhelming given how much I spent on it, but hopefully these items are really great. So first off, I bought 2 more Fude brushes. These 2 from Sonia G's Pro collection. And so I have here her Smudger 1 brush and her Pencil Pro. So here are what the brushes look like. And interestingly enough, they have different handles. So the Smudger 1 has this kind of thick base, whereas the Pencil Pro has the tapered base that I saw on my Cheek Pro brush as well. So my previous Beautylish haul, I picked up a lot of Wayne Goss's eye brushes. And so those are all kind of in a crease brush shape. So he has many different sizes of crease brushes that can do different things, but they're all kind of a crease brush shape. So that's part of why I wanted to pick up these 2 brushes, because I don't really have good Fude brushes in these shapes right now. So in terms of a smudger brush, I currently am really loving my Elson G27 brush, but it is a little bit scratchy. So I'm really hoping that this Smudger 1 brush can hopefully replace that in terms of some under eye pigment placement. In addition, right now I have the Rougeur number 3 brush as a small pencil brush, but I figured it would be nice to get a larger one as well. So hopefully this is good both for the under eye area and also for the inner corner. I really enjoy all of the Sonia G brushes I have so far, so I'm really excited to try these 2 out. Next up, we have this tiny guy over here. So this is a Surratt blush. And I have heard such amazing things about Surratt products, and I have never tried them before. So I figured this might be a good time to splurge and try something out from Surratt's line. And you can see this is a very, very small blush. So here's what it looks like out of box. And let me just open this up. Oh, I see. So it actually slides out of the packaging and then looks like this. So this is in the shade Rougeur. So I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I will put the name down below so you guys can see the spelling. So the reason the packaging looks like this is you're supposed to actually buy a separate palette to store these in. So there are palettes for 2 blushes and palettes for 3 blushes. Since this is my first Surratt blush, I figured I'd just start here, see how I like the formula, and if I do like it, maybe pick up some more blushes and the palette. I will say though, for $30-some blush, the packaging does definitely leave something to be desired, because I think if you actually buy the palette, which is like $25 or so, plus the blushes inside, it becomes an extremely pricey blush palette. But let's go ahead and just swatch this. Ooh, wow, that is very, very pigmented. And then here we are with the arm swatch. Wow, that is very pigmented. Okay, well, this actually looks very similar to the shade I have on my cheeks today, which is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix in the shade Desert Rose. So I guess I've just been in a rosy mood, but hopefully this goes well with a lot of my other rose-inspired looks. The reason I picked up this color was that I've really been loving a lot of these mauvey, purpley pink looks. And right now I have a decent number of pink and rose blushes in my collection, but I wanted something that was a little bit more cool toned, a little bit deeper. So hopefully this fits the bill. I will say from the swatch, it is extremely soft and silky, so that's promising. It is very, very pigmented though. I feel like I swatched an eyeshadow, so I am a tad bit scared because this is definitely the deepest shade in his collections. So I'll have to do a trying new makeup video at some point to show you guys how this looks. So moving on from Beautylish, let's go into Pat McGrath. So first, can we just appreciate how gorgeous Pat McGrath's products are? Like, this is just a giant box of beauty right here. So let's go ahead and take these out. So first off, as you can tell, I went a little bit ham with all of her minis. I think I bought the vast majority of the minis that she has just because I've been really, really loving my Pat McGrath lip products lately. And so I was like, oh, I want to buy some more colors, but how do I, choose? And so I was like, oh man, with the minis, I can try like everything. So yeah, I'm gonna have to film a separate video just of these minis so you guys can see these. If we stay here and swatch them all, it's gonna take forever. But let me just run through them with you. So first off, we have the Mini Lust Gloss in the Skin Show Cool shades. So these are Dare to Bear, Divine Rose, and Pale Fire Nectar. And I picked this up because I wanted to get the Divine Rose lip gloss, and then this was cheaper. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I can basically try out the Divine Rose lip gloss plus 2 other shades for less money. And one thing I like so far is it does really just look like mini versions of her lip gloss containers. One thing I don't like oftentimes when you buy minis is they sometimes are in much cheaper and worse packaging. So these though look like basically the same as her regular size lip glosses, just shrunk down. Next up, we have the Mini Lip Fetish Balm Trio. So this comes in 3 shades as well. So we have the Clear Lip Fetish Balm, the Flesh 3, and the Blow Up. And here I was especially interested in Flesh 3 because I've been really loving all of her lipsticks that have flesh in the shade names. They're all just really great neutral shades. And also, this is one of the few lip formulas I haven't tried from Pat McGrath at this point. I have a lot of her lipsticks, a lot of her Luxe Trance, Matte Trance, and recently Blitz Trance. So this lip balm though is something I haven't tried, and I am a huge lover of lip products that are comfortable and hydrating, and also a huge lover of Pat McGrath lip products, so hopefully I like these as well. Next up, we have her glittery formula for lip glosses. So this is Opulust, and this comes in Lavendaring, Dreamscape, and Naked Rose. So here I was especially excited about Lavendaring because I saw Morgan Turner put that on in conjunction with the Lavendaring eyeshadow, and I just thought it was such a beautiful lavender shade that would go really well with a lot of the looks I've been loving recently that incorporate blue and lilac and pink. So I'm really excited about this, especially because recently Astral Flashdance has been one of my favorite Pat McGrath lip glosses. And for me, that was pretty surprising because I didn't expect to like a lip gloss that has so much glitter in it, but it's been a lot of fun, especially for the spring. And so I wanted to pick out a little bit more of these Opulusts. And then finally, we have these Guilty Pleasures Mini Lip Trio, and this comes in Executive Realness, Elson 2, and Soft Core. And I think this was originally released as part of her holiday season Celestial Divinity line, and I've really been loving all of her Celestial Divinity stuff, and so I thought this would be a great way of picking up some more matte trance lipsticks because her matte formula is one of the few that I actually enjoy, but I don't actually use matte lipstick that often, so I think having it in the mini size will be really perfect. I will say though, packaging wise, this one definitely looks the cheapest and the least nice in comparison to her normal size products. So I don't know if you guys can sort of see, but it looks very much like a toy plastic lipstick. So that's a little unfortunate, but for mini, that's understandable. So if you guys are interested in seeing swatches of all of these products, definitely stay tuned for a forthcoming video just on these lip products. Next up, I finally decided to try some of Pat McGrath's base products. So this is in the shade LM10, and this is her Sublime Concealer. So let me just take this out of the box for you guys. Ooh, it's nice and weighty. So here is the packaging. Very simple, but I really like that this is quite a weighty package. So you can feel that it's either glass or really heavy plastic. Let me just give you guys a swatch of this, since I'm not totally sure if this is my shade match, but here's to hoping. Okay, at least on the arm, this looks like it'll probably work. I primarily want this for my under eye area, and I do like a slightly brightening concealer. So hopefully this works out, because I've heard really rave things about the Pat McGrath concealer, and I basically have been using Glossier's stretch concealer for like the past several years without really switching up my concealer game. And in general, I'm not a huge fan of liquid concealers, but given how much I love Pat McGrath and given how much people have said good things about this concealer, I have high hopes that this will work out for me. And so the last product we have in my Pat McGrath haul is this palette over here. So this is Bronze Seduction Mothership 5. And honestly, seeing this product gives me a lot of feels, because this was actually the first Pat McGrath palette I ever tried, and possibly the first luxury eyeshadow palette I ever tried. And this palette completely and utterly broke my heart. I was so sad when I used this palette, because it just did not work at all for me. I had to return it to Sephora, and for a while thereafter, I just thought that luxury eyeshadow and Pat McGrath in particular was just not for me. And so why do I have this again, you might ask? So I've been thinking about putting together a Pat McGrath ranking video, because at this point I've tried all of her palettes other than Sublime. And this guy at the moment ranks at the rock bottom because it's the only Pat McGrath palette I've tried that I did not enjoy and that I just returned because I could not make it work. And also, as I mentioned, it made me turned off from Pat McGrath, which if you guys watch my channel, you know that I love Pat McGrath so much. I wanted to give it another shot because this is such a crowd favorite. This was like the Allure Best of Beauty one year, and I think it's often recommended to folks as the first Pat McGrath palette to try, which is precisely why I bought it as my first Pat McGrath palette. So maybe there was a batch issue with the first Bronze Seduction palette I got. So I wanted to pick this up again just to see if it now works for me and if I have changed my opinions at all. So let me just go ahead and open this up for you guys. So there we are. It is a beauty in pan, I have to admit. I really hope this works for me this time, so I will film a forthcoming video dedicated just to this palette so you guys can watch the roller coaster of emotions I go through as I give this guy another shot. Hopefully this works out because I really don't want to return this palette again. But yeah, when I tried it the first time, the mattes were just really patchy on my skin. It was really hard for me to blend them out. And the shimmers just were really hard to work with and didn't provide very good pigmentation. And they also just got all over the place. So there's tons of fallout. So basically all of the things you do not associate with Pat McGrath eyeshadows. So I don't know what happened. I hope it was just something wrong with that particular palette and that this one is a lot better. If you're interested in seeing a video dedicated to this palette, definitely subscribe to my channel so you can get notified. So that's it for the Pat McGrath portion of this haul. So as you guys could tell, I have got a lot of new makeup to try and to film videos on. I thought I'd also just throw in what I got in my latest IPSY bag in case any of you are curious. So first off, I got this eyeshadow palette from Belle on Argent. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Ooh, and here is the palette itself. It's actually quite pretty. Let me open this up for you guys. So here are the shades. So really nice, just natural, very neutral color story. I will admit that I normally am not a huge fan of the eyeshadow palettes I get in my IPSY Glam Bag Plus, just because at this point I have so much eyeshadow and it's really hard for any of these smaller brands to compete with Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, Charlotte Tilbury, Viseart, all of those brands that I really love for eyeshadow. but I'll give this guy a shot and see how it works. Next, I have this highlighter from K. Voss. So this is a highlighter palette with 3 different shades. So let's just open this guy up. So here's what the compact looks like. And if we open it up, these are the 3 shades. So let me just actually go ahead and swatch these for you guys, just so you can see. So here they are. And let's just provide some arm swatches as well. Here they are on the arms. So they swatch really beautifully and they have some nice colors. Like this one is probably a little bit too deep for me, but I'll definitely try these out and let you guys know what I think. I will say in the previous highlighters I've got from IPSY, I feel like they often look a little bit too obvious on the cheeks, like you have highlighter sort of sitting on your cheeks rather than just a luminous glow. But still definitely down to try this guy out. Next up, I have this lipstick from Ofra, and this is in the shade Pink Panther. So I'm quite excited for this because I've been really loving Ofra products lately, especially their blushes and highlighters. And so given how much I love lip gloss, I figured this would be a good product to try out as well. So this looks like just a really pretty pink shade, and this is a pretty big doe foot applicator. Here we are. So I would say it's a fairly pigmented lip gloss formula, though it looks like you can definitely sheer it out and get something a little bit more natural. Definitely excited to try this out because again, I think Ofra is one of those brands in IPSY that I found actually performs really well, and I'm a huge sucker for lip gloss. Next up, we have this face and eye cream from a brand called Vita Bird, and this is their age-defying and deep hydration cream. So here's the tube, and it looks like this is a Korean skincare brand, and I guess Vita Bird C refers to their vitamin C compound that they use. I am usually not someone who can use vitamin C products because they tend to irritate my skin, but I was curious about this because it is supposed to be some special formulation of vitamin C that they have, and I do want a product in my life that can help with some of my hyperpigmentation, so we'll see if this guy works out for me. Next up, we have the Then I Met You Calming Tide Gel Cream. So Then I Met You is a brand from Glam, and I love Glam. That is usually my go-to place for skincare products. And I especially love their Living Cleansing Balm, which is my go-to oil-based cleanser on a day-to-day basis. So I figured it would be fun to give this gel cream a chance. So I would say that it's probably not going to work on its own for my skin type because I do have a relatively dry skin type, whereas I think this is more for oily to normal skin, but I'm hoping that maybe I can layer this with some other hydrating products and have this work out. I am a big fan of this container though. Like, this is such a fun container for face cream. So this is what it looks like on the hand in case you guys are curious. And you can see that it is very much a gel consistency, slightly runny, but still holds its shape. Blending it in, it does definitely feel like a very lightweight moisturizer. So I think for me, this might be more like a hydrating serum rather than a moisturizer I would use by itself. It has a very, very subtle fragrance when you first put on the skin, but it goes away really quickly. So the final product I got from IPSY is this Raw Sugar Natural Lip Balm in the flavor Lemon Sugar. And so I actually bought this with some of my IPSY points because I can't get enough of lip balms, lip scrubs, things like that. And so I figured I'd give this guy a shot. This is what the product looks like, and it has sort of a candy scent to it. Not really a strong citrus that I'm getting just based on the initial whiff. But hopefully this works well as a moisturizing lip balm. So that's it for my latest hauls. So as you guys can tell, there's a ton of makeup and some skincare to get through. So definitely subscribe down below if you are interested in seeing these products in action. I will be filming a lot of dedicated videos to all of these different products. So definitely at least one on the Pat McGrath lip products and one on the Bronze Seduction palette. And the rest of the products you'll probably see sort of sprinkled in some of my other videos. Let me know down below what you guys have been getting in the recent sales and if you guys have found any new favorites in the process. But thank you all so much for joining me in today's video. And if you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!